ever shot at anybody before?
No, Sergeant.
Me neither.
Once that first bullet goes past your head,
Black Hawk Down unfolds as a gripping and deeply intense war story that immerses the audience in a mission that quickly spirals out of control, transforming what was meant to be a short and precise operation into a desperate fight for survival. The film places viewers directly into the chaos of urban warfare, where every street, every building, and every moment becomes a potential threat. From the very beginning, the story establishes a sense of urgency, showing a military force preparing for what they believe will be a fast and efficient mission, unaware that they are about to step into one of the most dangerous situations imaginable. The narrative begins with a clear objective: capture key targets within a hostile city environment and return safely. The plan is carefully constructed, relying on speed, coordination, and overwhelming force to achieve success before the enemy has time to react. Soldiers are briefed, equipment is checked, and helicopters prepared to deploy, creating a sense of confidence that the mission will go according to plan. However, beneath this preparation lies an undercurrent of tension, as the environment they are entering is unpredictable and filled with hidden dangers. As the operation begins, the transition from preparation to execution is swift and intense. Helicopters descend into the city, soldiers fast rope onto rooftops and streets, and the mission moves forward with precision. The initial moments reflect the effectiveness of their training as targets are located and captured with efficiency. Yet almost immediately, the situation begins to shift. Small signs of resistance grow into organized opposition, and what was expected to be a controlled environment quickly becomes chaotic. The city itself becomes a central force in the story, acting as both a battlefield and a maze. Narrow streets, crowded buildings, and unfamiliar terrain create constant obstacles for the soldiers, limiting visibility and restricting movement. Enemy fighters use their knowledge of the environment to their advantage, appearing suddenly and disappearing just as quickly. This creates a sense of disorientation, as the soldiers struggle to maintain control in a setting that feels increasingly hostile and unpredictable. The turning point of the story arrives with a sudden and devastating event that changes everything. A helicopter is struck and crashes into the city, instantly transforming the mission from one of capture to one of rescue. The focus shifts as soldiers are redirected to secure the crash site, protect survivors, and prevent the enemy from taking control of the wreckage. This moment marks the beginning of a relentless sequence of events that escalate the danger and intensity of the narrative as efforts to reach the crash site begin. Communication becomes strained and coordination starts to break down. Units become separated, vehicles struggle to navigate the streets, and the enemy presence grows stronger. The sense of control that defined the early stages of the mission is replaced by confusion and urgency. Soldiers must make rapid decisions with limited information, often relying on instinct rather than clear orders. The film places significant emphasis on the experiences of individual soldiers, showing how each person reacts to the unfolding chaos. Some display remarkable composure under pressure, focusing on their tasks despite the danger around them. Others struggle with fear and uncertainty, highlighting the human side of warfare. These moments of vulnerability add depth to the story, reminding the audience that these are not just trained professionals, but individuals facing life-threatening situations. As the rescue efforts intensify, the scale of the conflict becomes more apparent. Enemy fighters gather in large numbers, surrounding positions and launching coordinated attacks. The soldiers find themselves outnumbered and under constant fire, forced to defend their positions while waiting for reinforcements. The sound of gunfire, explosions, and shouted commands creates an overwhelming atmosphere, pulling the audience into the heart of the action. One of the most compelling aspects of the story is the sense of brotherhood among the soldiers. Despite the chaos and danger, they remain committed to each other, risking their lives to protect their teammates. Acts of bravery and selflessness occur throughout the film, as individuals step forward to take on dangerous tasks or provide support to those in need. This bond becomes a source of strength, helping them endure the relentless pressure of the situation. The narrative also explores the challenges of leadership in such extreme conditions. Commanders must make difficult decisions with limited information, balancing the need to complete the mission with the responsibility to protect their troops. These decisions often carry significant consequences, adding another layer of tension to the story. The weight of responsibility is evident as leaders struggle to adapt to a rapidly changing situation. As night begins to fall, the intensity of the conflict does not diminish. Instead, the darkness adds another layer of difficulty, reducing visibility and increasing the sense of danger. The battlefield becomes even more disorienting, with soldiers relying on limited light sources and their own instincts to navigate the environment. The passage of time feels relentless. As the situation continues without relief, the film does not shy away from the physical and emotional toll of the battle. Injuries, exhaustion, and the constant threat of death wear down the soldiers, pushing them to their limits. Despite this, they continue to fight, driven by a sense of duty and the need to survive. These moments highlight the resilience required to endure such, emphasizing the harsh realities of combat. As reinforcements attempt to reach the trapped soldiers, new challenges arise. Convoys face ambush, navigation becomes increasingly difficult, and the enemy continues to apply pressure from all sides. The effort to coordinate these movements adds to the complexity of the situation, as multiple units work together under extreme conditions. The sense of urgency remains constant, as every moment counts in the fight to secure the area and extract the survivors. The story reaches a peak of intensity as the various elements of the mission converge. Soldiers at the crash sites, units attempting to reach them, and command centers coordinating efforts all come together in a chaotic and high-stakes environment. The outcome remains uncertain, keeping the tension high and the audience fully engaged. Throughout the film, the focus remains on realism and authenticity. The portrayal of combat avoids exaggeration, instead presenting events in a way that feels immediate and grounded. This approach enhances the emotional impact, making the experiences of the characters feel genuine, and our situation begins to stabilize. The story shifts toward resolution. Efforts to extract the remaining soldiers are carried out with determination, despite the ongoing danger. The sense of relief is tempered by the losses that have been suffered, creating a complex emotional tone. Success is not portrayed as a simple victory, but as the result of immense sacrifice and effort. In the aftermath, the film reflects on the events that have taken place, emphasizing the cost of the mission and the bravery of those involved. The focus returns to the individuals, highlighting their experiences and the impact of what they have endured. This reflection adds a sense of closure while also leaving a lasting impression of the events, visually. The film creates a powerful sense of immersion through its use of detailed environments and dynamic camera work. The city is portrayed as both expansive and claustrophobic, capturing the scale of the conflict while also focusing on the personal experiences of the soldiers. This balance enhances the storytelling, making each moment feel significant. The sound design plays a crucial role in building the atmosphere, with the constant presence of gunfire, explosions, and communication creating a layered and intense auditory experience. Moments of relative quiet are used effectively to contrast with the chaos, heightening the emotional impact. At its core, the story is about survival, courage, and the bonds formed under extreme circumstances. It presents a realistic and unflinching look at modern warfare, focusing on the individuals who must navigate its challenges. By combining intense action with emotional depth, the film creates a narrative that is both engaging and thought-provoking. The experience leaves a lasting impression, not because of grand spectacle, but because of its focus on human resilience and the realities of conflict. It shows how quickly situations can change, how fragile plans can be, and how strength is often found in unity and determination. The story remains a powerful exploration of what it means to face overwhelming odds and continue moving forward despite the fear, the chaos, and the uncertainty.